Good memory.
Now, in 1991, Leiloko moved to America and attended the University of Massachusetts, which is in Amherst, next to Smith. You didn't have the money for Smith.
I cheated. I took classes.
So anyway, she double majored and earned degrees in music, economics, and graduated with magna cum laude. In that would be 1997. And you got into The Lion King, is that right?
Yes, that was my graduation present.
Wonderful. When did that happen?
Actually, it was is a cue. So it's just part of a word.
It's like typing.
It's part of a word. It's not anything separate or symbolic of anything particular. It's just part of a word. It's a letter.
Does that sound take on different connotations depending upon the way it's used? Like sometimes beginning of a word or end of a word?
Or capital?
No. For example, the word for conversation is mototo. Mototo.
Right.
Now, there are different sounds. Let's say there's the which is the X.
Right.
There's the which is the C. Like when you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I hear you say Starbucks coffee with
No, let me say the perhaps
chock full of nuts?
Give me something.
Chock full of nuts is that heavenly coffee.
With
chock full of nuts. Oh.
How would it go?
Kak.
Say it. Say it with that sound.
Kak.
It's not the right word.
No, it's not the right word. But for
always
example,
a
for
cue?
Texas, if you're saying Texas.
No, do a coffee company. Do Maxwell House Coffee. Let's say it.
No, but I get free coffee.
Is the click always a cue? Is that what you were saying?
This particular one is a Q.
Right. That's what we're talking about.
That is an X.
Right.
For example, if I was looking at the word, the name Texas, I'd go, instead of Texas, I'll go Tepas.
Right.
The
Got it.
Queen of Tepas.
So it's like shorthand, except you're doing it with your tongue.
So how would you say
That is
some queers are called queens?
Oh, God.
How would you say that?
She wouldn't. She's a lady.
I was just trying to get the Q in there. No offense.
Yeah, but they wouldn't talk that way. Paul, where do you...
I wouldn't talk that way.
Paul, you're talking to a lady. You're
sounding like you're opening a bottle of champagne.
She's a lady.
She's gonna be...
It's a croaking good language.
Now, you know, this is a very wonderful treat for us tonight because we're illiterate. And we're going to have to learn to make sounds with each other.
Yeah.
So far, we've been using hand gestures. Thanks.
There you go.
It is a sound for you.
Yeah, I got it.
That's a Raz. We know.
And I
that.
incorporate quite a lot of it in my music as well.
You should.
Yes,
You should.
yes. And I hope you'll be able to come to the concert.
What
I have some
concert?
concerts
Where?
coming up in New York.
Tell us.
In a couple of days. Just
Where
around
do
the
we see you
corner.
and when?
On the 16th, which is Sunday.
Yeah.
At 7:30, I'm at Joe's Pub at the Public Theater.
I love Joe's Pub. It's
That's
one
a
of my
week
favorite.
from Sunday.
That's a week from Sunday. Then on the very next day, because I do not want to sleep. Since I've been on your radio show, this is fun. I've got to stay up.
Stay up, buddy.
Good.
The next day, I'm at the Langston Hughes Theater at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture up in Harlem. And that's, what's the address again? Is that...
Joey, you're from Harlem. You'll tell
Harlem.
me.
Okay, anyway,
125th Street.
yeah, 125th Street, exactly.
I live there.
And
He lives in the center.
Well, you know that very
You'll
well.
see him. He's on the steps.
Aha. So that's a 7 o'clock show
In Harlem.
in Harlem.
I throw
At
bricks at
7:30.
throw bricks at Sylvia's when I'm driving by.
Oh, don't. It's good cooking.
But I have the best cheesecake in the world. Have you had my cheesecake?
No.
Would you like some?
I'd love
You have to sing first though, because you won't be able to make that sound.
Could I have some if I sing?
Paul, if you go away, I'll give you a whole cake. Are you going to perform for us now? I mean, do we get something live from you?
I would be honored to, but can I just tell you a little bit? About
Sure,
the
we
show?
can talk forever if you want to do that.
No, just about Lesotho, because actually, particularly because I'm the only performer from this country.
At Joe's Pub.
No, I was born in a small country called
Right,
Lesotho.
right.
I'm the only performer who was born in this country who is on the international scene.
But you're going to be at Joe's Pub.
Yes, and I'll be at Joe's Pub. But I was trying to make the point that this is a country that is devastated with the worst case scenario of AIDS, and most people do not know it. They kind of don't have the knowledge that it's not part of South Africa, and neither does it have any assistance whatsoever from South Africa. And it's just one of those things that are dear to my heart in terms of what I do musically.
Well, you know what? I spoke to today a gentleman. I don't want to say too much because I'm on a trail for something, and you're right on. You're on the same trail. I'm on the same trail too. I spoke to a gentleman today who's, how do I get around this? He is a big shot who has, he owns C-SPAN. He puts C-SPAN on the map. Right. And I spoke to him today about being here next week, and he is he has been raising money for this. That's exactly what his entire purpose is.
Good.
And he's found a serum for AIDS, which they've created in Africa. You probably know more about this than I don't know the whole thing. I know that I'm having him here next week. I spoke to him today. He was on his boat, so he's a man of means, but he's taken the means and used them for African AIDS vaccine research. And he's going to be on the air with me, I think, on Wednesday night of next. So,
If we're on the
and
air.
then we also had. So we're here. Who was here? Who was the performer? We had the African performer was here last week. He's the #1 artist who was nominated for. No, he won an Academy Award. His film won an Academy. Tsotsi. Won the Academy Award. He was here
Hey, that
the
was
other
a
day.
phenomenal film.
And he's here to work on gun control for Africa, and he went to the UN. So we're on the same page, and I'm going to go to Africa, as I mentioned, because I want to have some of these people on the air, not only for this radio show, but I want to present them to the American public, because we don't get a lot of this with all the distractions going on in our society. I don't want to make a long speech out of this. Paul will start on me. But, we really have a lot of work to do, and we have the resources. And this is a great country for us to do this in because, maybe we're brought to this place where we have suffered pride and ego loss so that we would be more aware of everybody else in the world who could use some of our resources. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know what the divine plan is. But I have an idea that some of the things I learned in AA, for instance, that the only way that I ever would stop drinking was to hit a bottom. And maybe that's what we needed to do here. Maybe needed to hit a bottom as a country, because this is a great country, and it's everybody's country. America's really got the freedom and the wonder of it all. We have all the resources to do everything if we just watch ourselves a little bit. And so I think if we can come down to a place where we use these things for the common good for everybody in the world, maybe that will achieve a greater purpose for us as a nation, and maybe we need to go there right now. Yeah. So we need to present information on the air. We need to present the truth. We need to have some awarenesses, some vision. We need to use our imagination and all the gifts that God has given us so that we can show the rest of the world that we are sincere about our freedoms and about what we've all considered to be a value. And I think we need to listen more to people like you and your message from your experience right now. And I'm supportive of that.
Class.